Welcome everybody to Golden Drop for this week. We are going to do something a little unusual. We're going to talk about some blends today, and not just one blend. We're going to highlight two blends. So you get a 2-for-1 today.
Twofer.
Yeah. So instead of highlighting one oil and talking about, like, I don't really like to talk about where the oil comes from and how it's distilled, or whether it's distilled or how it's extracted.
Because nobody really cares most of the
That's
time.
why I like to talk about that, because nobody cares. Okay,
Oh, you
that's
do?
very interesting.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, and then talk about how it's used. And a lot of them are used topically, aromatically, or internally, or you can use really most of the oils that are available to us that are single oils. You can use any of those three ways. Today's discussion is going to be around two blends that are specifically formulated to be used topically. So not internally or aromatically, but topically. They come in a roll-on format like this. And one of them is called HD Clear. So we'll talk about that one first. That one, the main constituent in that one is an oil that we don't get as a single. It's called black cumin oil. And you may be familiar with cumin from cooking, right? From spices that you use to flavor food. Well, this is a black cumin that is very good for the skin, and it helps to keep the skin clear. It helps with blemishes, and it is, I've thought of this as we've used it in our family as a teenager oil, and it is a teenager oil blend because it's very good to help keep the skin clear. But it can be used for anybody. I mean, anytime that you need support on your face to keep your blemishes down or keep your skin clear, it can be used by anybody, and it can be used daily. So keep that in mind. It's not just for teenagers. It is something that can be used that way. It's just a kind of a cleansing oil in its effect, and it has a blend of black cumin and some other things that are good for your skin, like melaleuca and eucalyptus and geranium and such. So that's HD Clear in a nutshell. It's a roll-on, and you just simply apply it that way. It comes ready to apply. You don't have to worry about diluting it or anything. Do you have any other comments about HD Clear?
I do. It also has carrot seed extract in it,
okay,
which is really good for the skin. It's very healing. It mimics a lot of the properties of what is it called? Vitamin C. So, and very interestingly, the vitamin A part of it is really helpful to the skin as well. I love HD Clear for bug bites, and it's really lovely. It helps them heal very quickly. So in a pinch, this is something that you can use to alleviate any of those, raised areas. Like I've gotten bit, you can see all over my arms from these little gnats that keep flying in the house at nighttime, and they keep biting me, and it's horrible. But this really alleviates it, even more so for me than Purify and Lavender, which is normally a go-to for me. It works a lot for other people, but it hasn't for me.
And the nice thing about this, again, is that you don't have to tip the bottle and get a drop on your finger and then spread it. You don't even have to get this on your finger.
Right.
You just spread it on with the roll-on.
So one of the things that I want to remind you about this is that it's a great one to have in your first aid kit. I feel like it is definitely one of those ones that needs to be there, because it really it's a good one because you can use it in a lot of different ways. Obviously, in an emergency, there are all kinds of wounds that can occur and really not be very fun to deal with. So this is super antiseptic. I remember hearing Dr. Hill teach about this, using black cumin as the big, aha. And black cumin, if you've studied it, Jason gave us a really good rundown, is I would recommend you go and study up a little bit more about this blend. I mean, about this
And oil specifically.
Yeah, cumin, black cumin, because it's pretty clever, and it's a very cleansing, purifying. The properties are pretty cool. And I've been curious why we don't have this like as an oil all on its own. But you know, there's all kinds of reasons for that. But I wanted to go over the emotional properties really quick of HD Clear. And so I'm going to do that. And HD Clear is the accepting imperfection. And HD Clear was formulated for acne and general skin health. Its major ingredients: black cumin is not an essential oil, but a trace amounts of an essential oil in it. Black cumin is prized by many Islamic countries for its healing properties. HD Clear combines healing properties of black cumin with other essential oils. It's emotionally supportive for those who suppress anger, guilt, self-judgment, and also those who harbor feelings of anger and guilt from the past. These deeply buried feelings may exist outside their conscious awareness, yet these feelings of pain and anger may boil to the surface. If individuals do not deal with these feelings appropriately, they manifest through lashing out and blaming others. Ingredients in this are black cumin, whole wood, Melaleuca, eucalyptus, and geranium, as Jason said, but it's going to help with that self-judgment piece. So we'll go ahead and move on to...
Well, just to kind of wrap that up, I mean, to me, the summary of HD Clear is that it's antiseptic. And that's
Totally.
the powerful word. If we're going to be non-compliant, we're going to use that word. We're going to use antiseptic because that's what it does. And that's why it's good for your skin when you're dealing with blemishes and acne, for example. But as Sharon pointed out, there's a lot of other things you can use it for. Along those lines. So moving on. So Immortelle is a blend that's also for your skin, and it also comes, we don't have one here, but it looks like this, similar.
With a gold top.
With a different kind of label, you know, a little bit different coloration, but it comes in this kind of bottle with a roller ball. And that is because it's, again, ready for you to apply topically. You don't have to do anything with it to dilute it or anything. It's ready for you to use right out of the box and in the bottle. And it contains some of the more, what I would consider to be more classic general skin health oils, like sandalwood and frankincense and what else? Does it have myrrh in it? I'm trying to remember.
Jasmine.
And jasmine. Jasmine's good. So this one is not so much targeted at being antiseptic as it is just generally helping your skin to have long-term health. This is about dealing with wrinkles and things, aging issues in your skin that need health and support. You know, your skin as it ages goes through some trauma as it gets exposed to ultraviolet light and other things. And this is about rejuvenating and helping to protect it and supporting it after the damage has occurred already. So it's both a preventative kind of thing and as well as support for damage.
Right. I love to put Immortelle right here on my thyroid and allow that to be able to move to be super supportive there. It's just an extra boost because the myrrh is very helpful to the thyroid. And the emotional properties on this are, this is a spiritual insight essential oil. And essential oils have been used since antiquity to assist meditation practices. This is a very good essential oil for those of you who participate in meditation. It helps ground the body from heaven and earth, and encourages positive states of being and supports development of faith, hope, gratitude, kindness, patience, and trust. Immortelle is wonderful for meditation, as noted. They assist in the release of negativity, darkness, and limiting perceptions, and that is wonderful when an essential oil can help with perceptions. So if you struggle with clouded perception, where you look at maybe the glass half empty, always go to the negative side of something rather than the positive, this is going to be an essential oil that will really be helpful. And the way it's helpful is applying it over the heart, the back of the neck, and maybe the crown of the head, it will help. Obviously, using it on your face is going to do double duty because it's going to get rid of age spots. It's going to, not necessarily get rid of them, but it's going to support the skin to rejuvenate collagen and really be supportive to the skin. It also offers grace and comfort for those who are discouraged and distressed. This has frankincense, it has sandalwood, lavender, myrrh, helichrysum, and rose.
Yeah, when I was naming the constituents, I guess I forgot helichrysum, which is an oil that promotes tissue healing, so that's why that's in there. And lavender is obviously good for the skin; it's very soothing. And then I think when you said jasmine, you meant rose, and because rose is the one that's in there.
Oh well, you know what
It's a
has jasmine?
really.
You know what has jasmine in it? Actually is the hydrating cream, and it also has many of these other essential oils in it, and I love the hydrating cream because I use them both on my face. In fact, I use Immortelle on my thyroid in the morning, but then I use it at nighttime, specifically in a serum. I love it, but on my specific spots that I want extra help with. And that's the thing with Immortelle, you want to just dot it where you want it, maybe on that little crow's foot or that age spot, because a little bit of this essential oil goes a really long way. Very quickly, I want to offer you a really wonderful recipe for an ageless serum. And this is coming out of the Oil Magic book, Advanced Oil Magic book, on page 126. You do 20 drops of anti-aging blend. So you would take the roller bottle off and you would use a pipette. 10
Anti-aging blend being Immortelle.
Yes, thank you. Sorry. 10 drops of yarrow palm, 1 teaspoon of jojoba oil, or another one that I love is sweet almond oil. You can use either one, and 1 teaspoon of fractionated coconut oil. And or coconut oil, but coconut oil tends to go solid, so be careful with that. You combine all these ingredients in a jar and massage gently into the face in a circular motion every night before bed. I also want to offer you really quick a recipe very quickly. I just had it here and
Then we're going to need to close.
I lost it. Oh my gosh, I totally just lost it. Okay, here we go. An eczema, those of you who have eczema or anything like that, here is a salve for you, okay? 10 drops of HD Clear, which is skin clearing blend, 10 drops of frankincense, 10 drops of melaleuca, 15 drops of lavender, 5 drops of myrrh, in a half cup coconut oil, 1 tablespoon beeswax pellets. I would also say you could add some shea butter in here. You could play with that. Those of you who like doing DIY, you'll know what I'm talking about. Shea butter is so good for the skin. This would be really good for that. And 1 tablespoon organic honey. And I'm also going to make an alteration there and tell you to try Manuka honey, because Manuka is so helpful for the skin. And if you have Manuka essential oil, don't hesitate to drop some of that in here because it'll be very healing. Melt the raw ingredients into a double boiler, let cool light slightly, and then add the essential oils and pour into a jar, okay? So this is a really great recipe for being able to help dermatitis, skin issues, bacterial infections, and just being super helpful.
So that blend, that recipe that you just gave, is actually very similar to just taking if you want to simplify it for yourself, just taking the HD Clear and the Immortelle and giving equal portions and then putting it into the same, which would be oil and honey.
Isn't he smart?
Just do it that way if you want, because you listed off all the ingredients for Immortelle along with the HD Clear. So there you go.
I think I'm going to keep him, because he's super smart.
So we hope that you got something educational out of this. I know that we did.
Hey, we have some people who've made some comments, so we're going to jump in here and we're going to ask. Love Immortelle, great wound care, absolutely, and helpful for inflammation of the eye. Okay, yeah, I have something great for mother's milk too. I agree with that. Thank you so much, Diana. It is from the Oil Magic book, Andrea. It's on page 159. And I was going to say that. The other thing before we go, you guys, that I want to make sure that you know and understand, in these roller bottles, 10 mil, you get about 170 drops of essential oil in there. And unless it's pre-diluted with fractionated coconut oil, which none of these that we've talked about are pre-diluted, you're getting straight essential oils. And I'm so glad you brought that idea up, because combining those, I love simplification.
And actually, this is a little heavy on the Immortelle blend in this particular recipe. It's like a 4-to-1 Immortelle versus HD Clear. But just, do what you want.
See, I really like him.
Combining them is good for your skin.
So half and half. So this calls for 10.
No, it's not half and half, but it's okay. They can blend it half and half, or a little more heavy on Immortelle if they want. That's what this is.
10, 20. We want to wish you some freedom. So that is this theme of this month as we celebrate the 4th of July here in America.
The United States.
And so we want to welcome everybody from around the world, and hoping that you have a lot of freedom where you're at. We love the freedom that essential oils have offered our family. And want to invite you to learn more about the loyalty reward program from doTERRA. It is not obligational. It's super easy to participate in. So if you are curious how to get the most bang for your buck without being filled with obligation, but be able to really nail some great pricing and get 30% off of your already discounted wholesale customer price, connect with the person that introduced you to doTERRA, or drop us a message in our blog post, or here in YouTube, or anywhere you're finding this posted. Just drop us a note, or email us at info@oils2go.com.